and welcome back to EVE Online with me, Mark from Dadex, and Red Willow Charante, the Alpha, now living in a wormhole. And here we are logging back in. You're seeing it live. Even the postman finds you in a wormhole, bless them. Look at that. What's basically happening here is we're warping back to the point in the wormhole where we were when we logged out. Now, because we had no timers on us at the time, oh look, we've got 5 signatures today. I'll start scanning through those while I chatter. Because we logged out with no timers on us, the game immediately warps us off to a safe point in the wormhole, and then we log out. We disappear from there. If you've got a timer on you, the timer delays how long it is before the game will do that. So if you're under fire, there's something trying to kill you, and you try to remedy that by logging out, then you're probably just going to stay there till you're dead. And if you're being combat probed down, then you might be there long enough for them to get your position, warp to you and kill you after you've logged out. So do be aware of what's going on before you log out. It's very important. You don't want to be on anyone's radar really, and no timers. On the subject of probes, I'm just making sure, because I'm now using this warp to overview tab because there's nothing else in the system for me to run away to apart from the planets and moons. I'm just making sure that they're in the charges section. I have got probes selected, and it's worth checking from time to time that you've got all the ships and all the NPCs selected as well to show on your overview. Sometimes as new stuff is introduced to the game, it's not there, and I have noticed sometimes that just when you get an update, some things can kind of jiggle around. Anyway, I'm scanning through, nothing ever so exciting here. We've got one wormhole, one data site we can go and hack, one site we don't want to go anywhere near. It's got sleepers on it, one gas site, but that's not what we're looking for. And we're just scanning down the last signature of this wormhole. So I guess we'll go and check the data site and hack that, and then see where the wormholes are going. There's obviously not much left in here today. Not a very good harvest to be had. But I don't know if we're going to move on yet. I want to stay in here maybe just another period of time. And you can log back in, I don't know, but as long as you like, really. Sites respawn according to when they were despawned. So, you know, there's no really good time. I'm quite often in the game just after the downtime each day. So it's a good time to get on for me anyway. Luckily, all this working from home, eh? Anyway, I'm just going to go through these hacks. I'm not going to go too into the detail of them. I am deliberately failing the ones on the really rubbish boxes. One way of doing it is to start the analyzer module running and then just break your orbit out to above 5,000 meters, or just head for another box, and that will instantly fail a hack. Do that a couple of times. It's probably the quickest way to fail a box if you just want to get it gone so it respawns without wasting any time. For a data site, I guess the loot isn't too disgusting, but I'd much rather have some relic sites coming up here to hack. I can already see there's certainly been no major rebalance in the comparative value of relic and data sites, but you know, I might be proved wrong. We might find a ghost data site. That's a different kettle of fish. You can hack one box in one of those and get 100 mil. You could get the hack wrong and die. You could be there too long and die. Very exciting places. Anyway, I'm going to speed this last bit of footage up. We're going to go and check the wormholes now, just to see where they're going. The first one seems to go out into high sec, so that might explain why there are so few things to be hacked. We'll go and check the other one. And I'm back on normal speed for this section here, but I want you to note the range we land at this wormhole at. This is where you land when you use the bookmark that you get from the scan result. And I'm about nearly 9,000 meters away. This wormhole is leading to dangerous unknown parts of space. That's a C4. So we don't want to go in that one anyway. There won't be anything in there for us to do. We could go in there and scan some more down. Anyway, back to what I was saying. So if we land here nearly 9,000 meters away from this wormhole, to go through the wormhole, we've got to close the distance to 2,500 meters. If there's anyone lurking around this gate, that's that amount of time for them to mess with us. So do bear that in mind. That is why it's worthwhile. I haven't done it here because it's been so quiet, so I'm being a bit complacent. So if I'd got bitten, I would have had only myself to blame. But that's why I'll warp to where the bookmark is from the probing. Then bookmark, but warp to it at about 70 kilometers, 100 kilometers, then bookmark the actual wormhole. And then when I want to go through the wormhole, especially if I think there's anyone around or messing with us, then I'll warp away and walk back to the wormhole at 0 and straight through it. Anyway, we're going to log out. That's all we're going to do for today. There's my beautiful Zaxo. We've had no summer of racing. Anyway, straight into the next session. This is actually the next day. I didn't have much time. I was kind of busy. Back into the same wormhole. Let's see what's going on today. D-scan is already up, and we've already got 2 porpoises out on the D-scan. So we've got some miners out today. So there are locals, and they are around sometimes. Another explanation for why there's been bugger all, certainly in the last session, for us to actually hack. So let's see what they've left us today. Is it any? No, 2 wormholes. I bet you 50p that they're both going to be wormholes, and I think we're probably going to use one of them. So let's see what we get on. We're going to keep an eye on the D-scan. I'm not worried about 2 porpoises, but of course people can reship, and they can get their mate to come out. I'm on their D-scan. If they're on mine, there's no doubt about that. They're my probes. You can actually see your probes there. The green circle on that screen is my D-scan, so you can actually keep track visually of whether it's your probes you're seeing on your D-scan or not, just by seeing if any of them are in that green circle. Just scanning down the last signature now. I've been keeping a very close eye on the D-scan. That's much more interesting than the signatures today, I'm afraid. I've just got anomalies turned off, by the way. There are quite a few in here that I can't do. On one of the sites I accidentally overheated my Microwarpdrive, you may have noticed, and heat damaged all my mid slots. Luckily I noticed before I burnt anything out. We've now got a broadsword on the D-scan. One of the porpoises, I guess the pilot's reshipped into a broadsword. Let's have a little look at the broadsword. He's a little bit of a specialist. He runs the warp disruption horrible pink module that's worth a load of money to low-sec ratters. But the warp disruption field generator will basically, he can sit by a wormhole with that running, and anything that come in is basically in his own little personal kind of bubble, warp bubble. You won't be going anywhere. So he's on this side of the gate at least. So this is where we absolutely must. I'm going to assume he's at a gate. Sorry, a wormhole. Please, you know what I mean. I'm going to assume he sat at the wormhole. This is where it's very important that we warp in at a nice safe distance. We get the warp in exactly to the wormhole by bookmarking it, although we don't want to go through that one today anyway. That's not for us. Let's go and check the other wormhole. Now, he's going to be sat on this wormhole, I betcha, and we're going in there at a nice safe distance, so he can't mess with us. There he is, indeed. So from here, we can now bookmark, we can check the info, just to make sure it's worth going through. Yeah. There we go. Unknown parts of space. We'll take that. We're going to bookmark that from the overview. That bookmark now is at 0 on the wormhole. So now we're going to warp away again. You can go to wherever really. There you go. Any handy warp off point. It doesn't look like they're making a real effort to come after me. The other guy's just mining. So I'd be worried. I mean, the biggest concern here is that if he's got a twin on the other side of that wormhole, then I really don't want to be going through now. An option would be simply to go to my safe now and log out. They've got no way to find me. But I think I'm happy that that's a miner who switched into a broadsword on the off chance of getting an easy kill. I should be able to fly straight past him and straight through that wormhole. And we'll see what's on the other side. It's all part of the excitement. Okay. I've actually landed, as you can see here on the screen, right by a pause, a player-owned structure, which luckily is not active, because if I was this close, that might well have opened fire on me if it had any defences going. So that's something I haven't really been keeping an eye out for, and perhaps that's reminded me that I should. And we'll see if that causes us any problems. Right, we're going to hopefully, well, I know we are, we're going to land straight on the wormhole at 0. As soon as we can, we click use the wormhole, enter wormhole. We're straight into our session change, and he can't do anything to us. Right, we need to skedaddle pretty quickly. We do need to bookmark the wormhole we just come through, and we need to get off of here, and there's very little in here. So let's get going. We'll head for that planet.
Drive active.
Let's see what we got going on in this wormhole. Nothing to fear on the D-scan. We've got the bookmark set for our safe. Let's see where we end up. Oh, This looks familiar. That's a shattered planet. Have I found a shattered wormhole already? Just like home. Let's have a look. We've got some nice effects going on. We're going to get the probes reloaded because I forgot to as we walk back to the safe. No one on D-scan, and there we are. The planets in here are indeed shattered. We're in a shattered wormhole. Basically, there are no moons. There'll be no one can live in here really, apart from the way I'm going to. We'll be back to this shattered wormhole to go into the details and look at what's going on here very soon. There are the effects. They're quite nice. It's not a special small ship only shattered wormhole because it said medium ships could come in here. They can get crazy bonuses. You can get some crazy sites that spawn in here. But for now, I think we're here. I think that's enough for an episode. We've done pretty nicely. So we need a little bit of intel. Let's see what's going on the old kill board. I'm going to scan down what's in here, but you'll see the results of that in the next episode. So again, wormhole name up there. Well, the number with the J. And again, no one's really hanging out here. We've got some wingspan kills down there. I haven't been killed by wingspan yet. But here we are, episode 2, and we're already in a shattered wormhole. We will be back very, very soon, my friends, to see where this leads and if we can get rich and what we can find. But for now, take care of yourselves. Leave a like if you've liked it. Any comments or suggestions are always welcome. I'm sorry if I've got any words muddled in this episode. I've got a cold and I'm doing my best. For now, fly brave and goodbye.